Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Women Winning Wednesdays. I am your host, Attorney Elsa W. Smith, a Maryland estate planning attorney and the owner of the law offices of Elsa W. Smith, where our mission is to empower women through estate planning. Through our guest and educational content, my hope is to provide you glimpses of what an empowered woman is and what she needs to win. Today's guest is a wonderful example of an empowered woman. She is Tracy Allen, and let me tell you a bit about her. Tracy Allen is a clinical social worker with over 18 years of experience working with youth and families. She attended Morgan State University and the University of Maryland School of Social Work. Her background includes juvenile justice, school-based therapy, inpatient psychiatric care, and substance abuse, EAP, and policy. Most of her career has been centered around providing services for families in the Baltimore area and the District of Columbia. She currently runs a private practice, Reclaiming Hope LLC, and we'll learn more about her practice today. She offers therapy services to adults and children, and she also teaches at Morgan State University. She prides herself on being able to engage people in very difficult situations. Miss Allen believes that you have to really meet people where they are in order to get results. Her creative, non traditional approach is what drives her success. And additionally, I want to share that Tracy and I belong to the American Business Women's Association, Maryland Capital Chapter. ABWA is a national women's professional development organization. Tracy recently became one of my ABWA chapter sisters, so that is another reason I'm particularly delighted to have her on the show today. And without further ado, I introduce you to Tracy Allen. Tracy, welcome. Welcome to the show.
Hello, thank you for having me.
It's really a joy to have you. I've been looking forward to this for a while now. So is there I told the audience a bit about your background. Is there anything I left out, or did I pretty much cover all the bases?
The bases are covered. Nothing that I can think of.
I love it. So let's get right into it because what you do and Reclaiming Hope, the company and the services they offer are really important. So I really want to get into that. But before 2018, say 2019, I was not familiar with life or business coaching, in those spaces. But I soon discovered that there was it's like a whole universe of like law firm coaches, business coaches, financial coaches, life coaches, and a whole lot of other coaches, out there,
Yes.
and just like professional athletes, people who seek to be their best, whether it's in business, sports, or life, can
hmm
benefit from the right coach. And could you mind sharing with us, educating us all on what is life coaching?
Life coaching is taking someone by the hand and becoming their cheerleader, per se, their personal accountability partner. We're helping you with your life goals, your personal goals, whether that's career, weight loss, relationships. We're helping you put one foot in front of the other and organize your A to Z.
Wonderful. And what led you to pursue a career as a life coach?
So initially, I'm a therapist by trade, a licensed certified clinical social worker, and I opted for some change. 19 years, well, almost 19 years of dealing with trauma. I wanted a different path. I
Mhm.
still enjoy helping people. I pride myself on helping people and being creative about that. So I said, well, what can I do to kind of switch this up a little bit? And I was like, oh, life coaching. I mean, I know the entire life cycle, so of course I can do life coaching. But it was not as easy to begin as I thought. So it took me some time because life coaching, there are so many areas. So I had to find what I was actually good at. So I made the transition. It's been a slow transition because with my mental health clients, I can't just toss them to the curb. I have to see them through. So it's been a process, but it's been worth it.
And what was that, since you mentioned the word transition, was the transition from therapist, which, you spent many years doing that, to life coaching? Was that, a difficult transition or not? Or did it actually help you? The therapy background, did it actually help you in what you're pursuing now?
Having the therapy background helped because by me being licensed, I didn't have to become a certified life coach because I'm already licensed.
Hmm.
That with regard to that, that helped. But the transition wasn't hard because where I am now, it's like my mind was made up. Like I'm ready for something different. But for lots of people, I can see how hard it is because the line is very thin
Hmm.
between life coaching and therapy.
And we're gonna get to that. We're gonna get to that in a minute, because that's a sore point. Or, I shouldn't say a sore point, but it's something that's definitely worth exploring. Um,
Mhm.
what were some of the challenges that you faced as a businesswoman?
I would say
I
the
I just
biggest
hear the
challenge
exhale when you did that. I was like, "Ah." It's like this weight. I'm like, oh, let me tell you.
because the biggest challenge, people think you jump out into entrepreneurship and like, yeah, I'm gonna be the six-figure, boss and I'm gonna travel the world. And it does not happen instantly. I have spent the last 3 years that I've been in private practice a lot of times putting out more than I've gotten in because I have a few wellness products. So making those, printing those, that sort of thing, I'm putting out, more a lot of times than what I'm getting back. So the financial part of it is not always like, yes, this is it. So you have to be patient with your gift. If you jump out here and you decide, I want to do something, I want to start my own business, are you willing to wait to see the benefit of your business? Because if you're
Mm,
not, you're going to be extremely frustrated trying to do it because I had to learn that, and I spoke to someone recently, and she posed that question to me. Would you be willing to wait 7 years for the best year of your life in your business? And
mm.
it stumped me because I'm like, would I be willing to do that? But then I said, for my passion, for my purpose of what I want to do, I would have to wait it out. And if you can't, then you know that that's just not it. So I would say having to humble yourself and understand that each month could be different, each week could be different. So that was the main thing for me because I was used to getting my check every 2 weeks and I knew what my check was going to be and I knew what I had to pay with it and how that was going to go. That's comfortable. Being an entrepreneur is very uncomfortable. You do not know how your money is going to come in sometimes. One month could be outstanding. The next month you're sitting with like the shock look like, what am I going to do? So being patient with yourself and giving yourself grace because that's been the hardest part for me.
Wow. And we talked in show prep about, some of the topics we were going to cover today, but you inspired me to ask you it's a very fundamental question. What would you say is your why? Why do you do what you do?
My passion has always been helping people. I enjoy outcomes. I'm very outcomes driven. I love to be able to see a smile that someone wasn't able to do. Someone says, I'd met all of my things on my to do list today, or I was able to talk to my child and they responded and we had a good conversation for the first time, or, you know, I applied for the job. Like I got up out the bed and I cleaned my room. Like those things have always felt good to me. Like the work has to feel good. So that's my why, the feel good of it, being able to see the influence of motivating somebody and supporting somebody that feels good to me. That's my why, the feel good that I get off of other people.
I love it. And it just shows that you're when that feel good. that sensation. I
Mhm.
completely understand it, just but it's indicative of when what you're doing is aligned with your purpose, and you're in the zone and it brings you
Yep,
joy, right?
it
Tell
does.
me, what is your ideal client? What do they look, who are the people that, seek you out typically?
Um, Ironically now it's been entrepreneurs about balancing their work life and personal life.
Mm,
Um, I pride myself on being balanced. I keep a planner. The planner is right here. I am talking to you, but my planner is right here. I pride myself on organization and balancing. So I'm attracting more women who are trying to balance themselves, even people who are still working a 9 to 5, but branching out into entrepreneurship and have questions like, well, how can I do this when I'm doing all of these things? It's just that balance. What am I going to do? How do I do it? Do you know somebody who can assist with, kind of helping the newbies into entrepreneurship and the ones who are well established create balance?
I was going to say, because those of us have been doing this for a while. We're always trying to seek balance, and that elusive work life balance is a goal. And there's some schools of thought that say that that's a myth, that you just have to focus on particular things and do them well, and don't try to do everything all at once. um
Right.
yeah, I don't know what your thoughts are about the whole work life balance thing.
Because most people say, "I'll sleep when I'm dead. I gotta grind. I have to get to it." Like, you will get to death before you get to sleep, burning your body out like that. And that's what I try to get people to understand. Your brain is a muscle. When you exercise, you have to do muscle recovery. You
Mm,
still have to do that with your brain. Know when to turn your brain off and stop and shut down so that you can give your mind a chance to recover. And if you struggle with that, that's where yoga comes into practice, Tai Chi, meditation, walking, physical movement, those sorts of things to kind of reel you in so that you can calm this muscle and relax it so that you can reset and regroup.
I love that. Yeah, it's absolutely so necessary. And some of the things you mentioned, in addition to like meditation, prayer, just something that just kind of centers you. I
Hmm.
try to do that like every single morning, to get my head right, to be in the right frame of mind for everything that I'm going to face during the day. So I absolutely agree with that. Um, Now, I want to deal with what I call the elephant in the room, and that is, I'd like you to speak to that fine line between life coaching, and therapy. And have you observed um, other people in the industry kind of blurring those lines? And the follow up
Per-
question is, what's the danger in doing that?
okay. Personally, I have not observed anyone doing it.
Mhm.
Coming from, excuse me, the therapy perspective, I often see people offering free advice and tips in situations where they should kind of back off of that.
Mm.
Um, as therapists, well, licensed therapists, some situations you intervene and you have to through to the end. So I haven't seen anybody from the coaching side cross the therapy, but I've seen therapists intervene and, you know, kind of get themselves in stuff that they shouldn't be in. And it's happened to me before. Trying to help, people tag you on Facebook, hey, can you help this person? They're looking for a therapist. The story unfolds, and then it's bigger than just they're looking for a therapist. And by you being a professional, you have to help. But on the flip side of being a coach, that thin line, you know, a therapist, um, a therapist addresses feelings, addresses emotional well being, addresses the past, your mental health. They provide suggestions. They dig from the past and bring you up to the present. A life coach is more problem centered. We're present. What are we doing from this day forward, and how do we move from here to the next thing? We're task oriented. We work to unlock your potential. The client has the answers. You have the answers about what it is that you want to do. We help you move your feet with the answers and organize the answers so that you can get to where you want to go to. So that fine line is still problem solving with therapy, but it's a therapeutic approach. It's past based, based on what has happened and how that has affected you up until this point. Where coaching is what's going on right now. Why are you so unorganized? How do we get you organized? Or what's your issue with setting boundaries in your business where you have people coming in calling you all hours of the night and you're not getting appropriate rest because you don't know how to say no? You know,
Mm.
do you need the strategy of putting your phone in do not disturb at a certain time so you're not even tempted to respond, so you don't even know you have a message? Just offering you those sorts of things to create that work life balance. Whereas a therapist, we're developing a treatment plan and we're digging and figuring out, how do we resolve this trauma? Do I need to refer you for medication based on how long you've been feeling this way? So it goes, the spectrums differ, but the ultimate is counseling. I am counseling you on something as a life coach, and I'm counseling you on something as a therapist. As life coaches, if you don't listen to those cues to know that issue goes beyond you. Somebody happens to say, "Oh, I was sexually abused as a child, and that affects my current relationship with my husband, but I'm trying to learn how, to balance my work life to spend more time with my husband because one day we want to have children and not home all the time, so he's home alone." I'm hearing there's another issue here that I
Mm.
can't address. So it's going to be difficult for me to address, your husband wanting to have children and you being home when there's some other trauma that needs to be addressed first. So we would put a band-aid over that. No, you have to know when to say you may want to see a therapist, because my services aren't appropriate for you.
You hit on the exact follow-up question I was going to ask you. Like, when somebody sees you, and because of your extensive background in in clinical therapy, and you can, it's fairly easy, I guess, for someone like you with your expertise to just spot those issues when somebody initially starts talking to you. And if I'm hearing you correctly, the professional that is holding themselves now out, you're, as a life coach, the appropriate thing to say is what you just said. Is like, okay, I've identified these things, and you might be more appropriate, it might be more appropriate for you to speak to a therapist about those issues. So you're kind of like wearing two hats, but you're very clear on what
Yes.
that particular person needs, and you're not trying to kind of put us fit like a square into a round hole. It's like, no, they really need to address those things first. um
Absolutely. I have a
very
client now who is trying to work on balancing her work life with her daughter,
mm,
and I my we talk a lot around being available and scheduling time, and it sounds so bad, but entrepreneurs literally have to schedule time for everything, including their children, their spouses. They're scheduling time to, make time. And one of the things is, I'm always telling her, pencil your daughter in on the day that she's the most available because her daughter has therapy on Thursdays. I mean on Wednesdays. So she's open that day. So if you don't work that day, so if the portal is open, use that day to as your bonding moment because the emotions are high. She's talked already, so use that day. That's as far as I will go. I don't tap into find out what she's feeling. No, this is about you spending time. So this is how you spend time, and this is the day that you use to spend time because you're not working that day. So that's how I draw that line there. I don't go and talk to her about what happened in her session. I don't do any of that. This is your day to have your time. That day there.
and really, I think that the fact that you are so transparent, and you're very confident and like sure-footed to tell someone, look, you need to go see a therapist. That's not what this session is about,
Mhm.
I think that just adds to your credibility because people know that you're just not going to just take all comers and whatever.
No.
You adhere to, the many years of experience and education and responsibility, duty as a professional that you have in holding
Yep.
yourself out to the public. So that I think that just gives you more credibility, quite frankly. And we
Thank
need
you.
more people. And honestly, we need more people out there like you, ethical, and you're going to do the right thing and guide people to the appropriate resources.
Thank you.
So
I was
kudos
like
to
that
you.
with my therapy clients as well. If I see that they aren't progressing and they are still doing the same things because that's what's comfortable for them, I'll let them know then maybe you should come back when you're actually ready to work, because I'm not going to keep billing your insurance company for you to keep talking about the same things over and over again, but you aren't ready to do the work. I don't feel like helping you. Like, I
Mm,
want to see the change. I want to see the transition. So with both hats, I'm not about just, oh yeah, give me your money, I can help you. No, that's just not me. I want to see the change. That's what I want to see. And the
I
change means more to me than a dollar amount.
mm, mm, I love that. Okay, this is really an exciting time of transition and growth in Reclaiming Hope LLC. You still have some therapy clients, but
Yes.
the life coaching space is just blowing up. It's crazy. It's blowing up. You're getting clients and all that, and it's an exciting time.
Yes.
Where do you see yourself in the life coaching space, say, about 5 years from now?
Oh goodness. So to me, Iyanla is goals. Like, she's
Isn't she awesome?
straightforward. She spits it as it is. Like, she speaks places. That's where I see myself. Traveling, offering, motivational speaking, employee wellness, those sorts of things where I'm just out here building people to be better. Um,
Mm,
I see me still having, some one-on-one life coaching clients and some business coaching clients, because my business coaching isn't helping you get started, but more of how do you improve your business? Because I have
mhm.
years of customer service as well before I started into social work. So, it's one of those things where I want to be that one that people says, oh, we need somebody to come talk some sense into us, or let's call Tracy. So 5 years, I wanna be traveling the world. You'll look up and say, "Oh my goodness, Tracy's in London speaking." Yes, I am.
Yes, sis.
So,
Speak that out into the ether. Speak
yeah,
it out. I love it. I absolutely love it. Yeah, on stage speaking to audiences, around the world, and it's even easier to do that now with the wonders of technology.
yes.
So yeah, I love the vision, and I absolutely see you doing that. Um, how do people typically engage your services? How do they sign up to speak with you?
My website, if you go to my website, well, right now, if you Google Reclaiming Hope LLC, the regular tab will come up and the coaching tab will come up. All you have to do is click the button. Once you click the button that says coaching, there's a little contact me or book a discovery session right there. It takes you to a Calendly link, and we can get started from there. Or you can call. My number's listed on the website, or you
Hmm.
can email me. Everything is on the website. So all of my contact information is there. Instagram, DM me on at Reclaiming Hope LLC. Facebook, the same thing. So yeah, I'm not hard to find. Reclaiming Hope LLC. Our good thing is when you hit Google, it pops up. So
I love it. I love it. How uh, what are a few life coaching tips that the audience can take away today, that they can start incorporating into their lives? We have a lot of professional women, like you, like me, who are watching this live or catching it on the replay. What are some practical tips that you can share for the audience, to the audience, with the audience,
so
I should say?
one, I will say organize your ideas. And when I say organize your ideas, put them in one place. Get a book that means something to you. I have one book that I call my business journal. When I have ideas, when I have thoughts about something that I want to do, I put it in that book. Another
Mhm.
strategy of mine is I write in different colors. Like I have different color pens everywhere because so I practice what I preach. I have different color pens everywhere because when you write in planner, you be able to see everything. If I wrote everything in black, you're guaranteed to miss something, no matter whether it's by a specific time or not. Write in different colors. That way you can see. So let's say, Elsa, if you're doing things for the law office and you want to write in purple, you write it in purple for the law office. But if it's something that's personal or like your doctor's appointments, you might want to write that green. If you have a pet and you know, okay, well, I need to take my dog to the vet on this day, I'm going to write that in orange. You can color code your system however you want to color code it, but get organized that is unique to you, that you understand it, but you can follow it. So organize your ideas. Number two, trust yourself. It's
Mm.
no point in organizing all of your ideas if you don't trust yourself to go through with them. You have to start somewhere. When you
Mm.
see children and you're like, oh my goodness, they took their first step, they took two steps, and we make such a big deal out of it. But when we take baby steps, we discredit ourselves. Your baby step is still a step in the right direction. Honor that baby step. You took a step. So trust yourself and move your feet. And even if it's a baby step, go ahead. And I'm going to counter that number three with take the leap.
Mm.
Yours does not have to be a step. It can be a jump. Sometimes you have to jump head first to see if you can do something. I can't swim. I had a feeling I could swim. I jumped in the 8 feet of water, but I swam underwater to get to the other side. I took the leap and I tried, but there was also somebody there to catch me. So don't take the leap if you don't necessarily have the support. You have to be strategic about when you're leaping, but take
Mm.
the and trust yourself. That goes back there. These are this interchangeable here. Trust
Mhm.
yourself that you're going to be successful and be patient because it doesn't happen overnight. Like I said, I'm 3 years in, and it's still a struggle some months for me. But the I enjoy what I do, so I'm going to ride the wave until I get to where I want to be. So those are your three: organize your ideas, trust yourself, and take the leap.
I love it, Tracy. And again, you told people how that they can reach you for a discovery session. Um, do you? I understand that you have a podcast.
I do. Yes.
And let how can we support you? How can we know where this podcast is and whatnot?
So if you follow me at Reclaiming Hope LLC on Instagram, Monday nights at 7 is Chat with Trey. So for February, I was interviewing influencers, local influencers who have built their businesses from the bottom up. And we're talking about entrepreneurship. We're talking about mental health. We're talking about coaching. I'm throwing all kinds of random questions at them. It's one of those things so people get to see the human side of people who they feel like are successful. So I am hunting people down for my interviews because I need people to see that outside of the success, this is a person and you want to treat people like people. So Monday night 7, Chat with Trey on Instagram at Reclaiming Hope LLC.
I love it. Tracy, we're approaching the top of the hour, and it has been a joy for many reasons to have you on the show. What you do is so needed. You are so authentic, and you're genuine, and people. It's impossible for someone not to see that and to come and seek your services. And listening to you describe what life coaching is, I'm like, I think everybody needs a life coach.
Yes.
Everybody who works, every
Yes.
woman, every working woman, it was like watching
Yes.
this, like needs life coaching to to one extent or another.
For
So what
sure.
you do is such a valuable service. And you, again, you're working in the state of Maryland. You help people from all over
Yes.
the state of Maryland so that they can reach you. It has truly been a joy having you on the show. I want to thank you so much for being so generous with your time, and I wish you all of the success in the world with reclaiming hope. I know that you're going to be on stages, like you said, in that 5-year vision of yours. And I honestly, I can't wait. I can't wait.
Thank
So
you
thank
so
you so
much.
much.
Thank you for having me, to even think of me to bring me on your show. I mean, you are a boss. This is attorney Elsa W. Smith. You are a boss. Like little old me, I'm honored. So I thank you so much for even having me. To be thought of, just it was enough for me. Thank you.
It was an easy choice, and as I tell my clients and my audience, I pride myself on bringing quality people before them. So I'm very intentional about who I share this platform with, and I think that you have a message that needs to be heard, and women need to see. Just on another level, women need to see women, like us in certain spaces, and it's really important for that, and it is my pleasure to share my platform to help you do that. So with that, I'm going to say thank you again and have a wonderful afternoon, Tracy. We'll talk soon.
Bye. Thank you.
You're welcome. Everybody, wasn't she fabulous? Tracy Allen, the owner of Reclaiming Hope LLC. um, in talking with Tracy and listening to her about her business, it's inspiring, and Tracy's business, Reclaiming Hope LLC, that is a part of her legacy. She wasn't afraid to pivot and recreate herself into this new space. I want the women who, particularly the women who are watching this show right now, to really catch that. We are so amazing as women. We can do so much. We are limitless. And Tracy's just one example of what we can do. And it's especially nice to highlight that during this month, Women's History Month. Do you know what your legacy is going to be? I want you to think about that. Will this be the year that you take action and to go from overwhelmed to empowered? We've been talking to an expert who can give you certain skills on how to manage your life. An estate planning attorney can give you the tools that you need to protect what you're working so hard, to build your family, your business, your life. We help clients in Maryland and the District of Columbia do that at the law offices of Elsa W. Smith. And I invite you to give us a call if you have questions, if you want to set up a strategy session. Give us a call at 410-995-7719. You've seen the information on the bottom of the screen. It's been a joy to connect with you again on this session of this episode of Women Winning Wednesdays. I am Maryland attorney Elsa W. Smith, owner of the law offices of Elsa W. Smith, empowering women through estate planning. And I will see you in our next episode. Be well, everyone. Take care.